Psycho Goreman is directed by Steven Kostanski, and it stars Stephen Vanos, Matthew Nadbiner, nita-josse and Owen Meyer, just to name a few. And our story begins when two kids, a brother and sister, unearth a gem that controls an evil monster looking to destroy the universe. But the young girl discovers that they can use the gem to make him do their bidding. So, Psycho Goreman. Now, this is one of those movies that if you're not into 80s retro horror, this movie is probably not gonna appeal to you. You have to love, I would say, small or low budget horror flicks. You have to have that love for 80s retro horror movies, especially the really bloody, gory stuff that you would find in something like The Toxic Avenger, or and even the kind of craziness of The Gate. You know, you mishmash all of that together and you're gonna get something that looks like Psycho Goreman. And you can tell that the director and writer, Steven Kostanski, really has a love for this kind of horror, because his previous horror movie, The Void, is also that kind of trippy, very, bloody, gory, kind of Cronenberg kind of thing going on there. Here, this is a lot more fun. It's not as serious as The Void. It's a lot more, for want of a better word, kid-friendly horror. Now, by kid-friendly, let me start by saying, please do not show this to your kids if you have kids. I don't want to get in trouble. It's the kind of horror movies that kids in the 80s could look at. You could see this kind of stuff and probably get away with it. You know, your parents probably wouldn't even realize what you were looking at. Again, if you like that kind of horror movies from that generation, I really do. I love 80s horror a lot. You're gonna enjoy this. And I have to say, one of the things that surprised me with this movie was the acting. The acting here is pretty good by our, I should say, 5 main leads. You know, we have these 2 young actors, preteens, I guess. They're basically the Billy and Mandy of this universe. You guys remember Nickelodeon's Billy and Mandy, and how Mandy ended up being able to control the Grim Reaper. That's basically what this movie is. It's Psycho Goreman is that story. The actor who plays Psycho Goreman as well, to act through all that heavy makeup, and I have to say thank you so much and props for the practical effects. I had a blast with that, but we'll get back into that. Yeah, the actor who played Psycho Goreman, he gave this character so much personality, and this could have just been one big giant monster. It looks like some kind of horror version of Power Rangers. You know, the creatures the Power Rangers would fight. He managed to add so much personality to this character. I was laughing the entire time at his interactions, at his wanting to kill these kids for controlling him the way they were. And that's another thing too. A lot of props has to go to these kids, especially the actress who played Mimi, Josie Hannah. She was, I don't know, she bounced back and forth for me between really annoying and really precocious in all the best ways possible. But it's just, this kid, she's borderline psychotic, to be honest. But I think this is something, like I said, it might have been a culture thing for me, because here in the Caribbean, you would get your ass whooped for the things this kid gets away with, you know. But, you know, different strokes for different folks, as they say. Here, she is very much, she owns the scenes that she's in. I really have to say that. She does feel like she would be able to command this alien demonic creature, whatever he is. Now, the thing that most people are going to want to watch this for, of course, is the blood and the gore. And there's a lot of it. As small as the budget was for this film, or at least as small as it seemed, you know, because it does have that low budget look to it, which may have been deliberate now that I think about it, you know, because they are going for that retro vibe. It was just the blood and the gore, and it was just over the top, disgusting in the best ways possible. If you are a horror fan that loves that stuff, you're absolutely going to enjoy that stuff here. and the humor. There's such a good balance of horror and comedy in this. But this is definitely a movie not to take seriously. This is not one of those horror movies that has a deeper message, a deeper meaning. You know, other than don't be a jerk to your siblings. That's about it. But this is just one of those fun popcorn flicks that you just switch off your higher self, your higher brain, and just enjoy it for what it is. A gory, blood-soaked, insane, no holds barred, does not apologize for anything it's doing kind of horror movie. As you guys can tell, I had an absolute blast with this. If there's any downside to this, is that it does kind of drag a bit in certain places, and you can tell they're padding it for time in certain places. There's story elements added here that honestly I felt it could have worked without. You know, I wouldn't get into it too much, you know, for those who haven't seen it, but I just felt like stuff could have remained on Earth, and this could have worked, you know, straight up demonic kind of thing. But whatever, you know, it's not my story to tell. And overall, I could forgive those instances because there's just so much stuff. This film is having fun. You could tell the director and the writer, everybody involved is having fun, and those emotions were definitely contagious. So I had a blast watching this. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. And I probably just, it's the kind of movie I think you'd enjoy more watching with like-minded horror-loving friends. But overall, I think it's a solid send-up to that whole 80s horror movie vibe, and I'm gonna give it a strong 6.5 out of 10. I had a lot of fun with this one, guys. So if this kind of horror appeals to you and you haven't seen this movie, I definitely recommend you check it out. Psycho Goreman gets a 6.5 out of 10. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you've seen this movie, let me know what you think of the insanity that unfolds. If you like this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It's always appreciated. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, you can of course click on my face when it pops up right about there. And you can check out past horror movie reviews if you've got the time. So until the next one, guys. Bye-bye.